My name is Joe, and I'm a 23-year-old American male. I live near the coast of California, so you can imagine I like the sea and the rural life. I've lived on a caravan for the past 6 months, and I haven't had any creepy or weird incident until last week. I woke up last week at around 6 am, the usual time for me and the people who live in the caravans next to mine. I noticed there were 2 new caravans next to me. One of them was owned by a noisy but happy family. There were 3 kids, the oldest not being older than 8. Their parking spots where I sleep didn't normally have kids, so I thought it was kind of strange, but not as strange as the other caravan next to mine. There was a black caravan with blackened windows, so I couldn't see inside. It was already weird to see a black caravan, as 99% of them would be white or light grey, where I didn't think too much about it. At around noon, when I normally drove towards a busy street with restaurants and stuff, I did notice the black caravan was owned by a single male, as I saw him outside his caravan smoking some cigarettes. He was in his mid to late 40s, and he looked greasy, like if he didn't shower in a year or 2. He got small grey beard and grey hair. As I was leaving, we locked eyes for a few seconds, which was kind of awkward, but I soon forgot about it. I ate a burger and chips in a Burger King, and then I went for a walk near the sea, which was really beautiful in California. I returned to the caravan in the evening and drove back to the usual spot. When I arrived, it was already quite late and everything was pitch black, but I could still tell that there weren't as many caravans as usually. I'd say there were around 10 within a block of me. I didn't want to make much noise, so I quietly and carefully parked my caravan and got ready for bed. Even though it was pitch black, I was still able to see the black caravan next to mine. Now, most caravans had their lights turned on, which meant they were awake, but these guys were black. I know they were blackened and all, but I could still tell his lights were off. I thought it was weird for a lonely male to go to bed at 10 PM, but I didn't care too much about it. I watched a movie on my tablet, ate some crisps, drank some soda, went to the toilet to pee, and then went to sleep. I was kind of bored, so I quickly fell asleep. I woke up an hour or 2 later to the sound of soft tapping on my window. I kind of ignored it for a bit, thinking it was a kid trying to annoy me or a bird, but it soon started irritating me as it didn't stop. There were like 5 to 10 taps per minute, which may seem like very little, but if you're trying to sleep, it seemed like the opposite. After a few minutes, I decided to check what was tapping on my window. I got up from bed, and without turning any lights on, I moved the curtain from the window. I felt my heart in my throat as I saw the disturbing, unforgettable smile of the man in the caravan next to mine. He was standing right on the other side, smiling at me while tapping at my window. His teeth were dirty and his eyes were red and irritated. I screamed to the top of my lungs, waking up everyone within my block. I put the curtain back, turned on the motor, and immediately drove off. I made sure I wasn't being followed by this black caravan or any other car. I was thinking about calling the cops or reporting him, but I realized that he hadn't committed any crime, and I'd just be wasting everyone's time. I also felt bad for him, just in case he had a mental illness or some sort of mental disability, so I just left it like that. I drove for like 10 to 15 minutes to another parking spot where I parked my caravan. Here there were even fewer caravans, and I didn't bother to count them as my heart was still racing from the incident. When I parked the caravan, I got off and waited outside for a few moments, just to check no other caravan was coming here. And luckily for me, I didn't see any other caravan or vehicle, so I got on mine and went to bed. I thought everything was finished, so I kind of relaxed myself and fell asleep. I don't know how fast or slow I fell asleep, but it wasn't as fast as the previous time. However, a few hours later, I woke up again. I was very tired and I was wondering what could be waking me up. When I finally completely woke up, I was so disturbed to hear the same tapping sounds on my window. My heart started racing fast and I was getting seriously scared. This time the tapping was faster and louder, and they were more frequent too. I was scared to move a single muscle, but I knew if I'd stay in bed, I'd just be increasing my chances of dying. I slowly, but really slowly, got up and got a kitchen knife in my mini kitchen. I quickly ducked on the floor, making sure he wouldn't see me through the curtains. I very slowly got up to move the curtain and see what he was doing. And when I did move the curtains, I saw my life through my eyes, as I saw the same man tapping on my window with a sharp knife. I screamed like a little girl and surely woke up everyone else. His smile was even wider and possibly wider than any humans could get. His eyes were even redder and his head slowly turned a bit, much like a dog when they're listening to you. I decided enough was enough, so I showed him my knife to scare him off and very quickly turned on all the lights and the motor. I started driving before the caravan was even turned on, and I immediately got out of there. I looked through my reflection mirror, and I saw the outline of a man slowly disappear as I got farther away. I could tell he didn't bring his caravan, as I didn't see any black caravan. He wasn't running towards me, he was just staring at the back of my caravan while he held up his knife. I didn't sleep on another parking spot that night. In fact, I went to the nearest by hotel and booked a room for the night. I called the police as soon as I got into my room, and they arrived as soon as possible. I told them everything that happened, but they said that he didn't hurt me or break in, so even if they could take him, he would never step on jail. Before leaving, one of the policemen asked me if I knew the license number of his caravan. I slapped myself as he asked that. How could I be so stupid to let go and notice the only detail that could get him in trouble? I told the policeman no, and he soon left too. I didn't have any sleep that night, and I was just staring at the door waiting to hear the same tapping of that man. I honestly have no idea why that man was haunting me, and if he was a serial killer or just a mentally disabled person. What I do know is that his intentions weren't good, and I did good escaping. I sold my caravan a few days later, and from now on, I'll only sleep on houses or hotels. I still haven't heard from that man, and I hopefully never will.